I noticed like, cause I retook my first year as well, and like,
Yeah.
it really shows how, people say like, if you're the first in your uni, and you're first in your family, because to university, you get like extra credits, or
Mm.
you're eligible to certain grants and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really deep that until, until I was actually like at home trying to do homework. My parents are like, oh, let's go to the park. Let's go for a jog. It's like, mom, I actually have stuff to do.
Well, as in like
I
you're
can't be
saying
cooking.
how your family would treat your studies.
Yeah, because they don't understand what it's
Yeah.
like to have
No,
homework.
I get that as well because like to even go to university for me, I had to do like a lot of convincing to my parents because for them, they have no template. They have seen no one go like in their like circle. They haven't seen anyone come out of university and um reap the benefits. So like they don't have that template in their heads that like, okay, this university thing is something that works. So like
Mm.
I had to do a lot of convincing for them to them to even allow me to go to university because what they know is how they know life is you finish your education and their version of education is just like leaving school very early. So at the age of like 15, 16, and then helping your parent out in their line of work or opening up like a shop or doing like hands-on work and the nitty-gritty work straight away. And
Mm.
they've seen that work. They've seen that work to like varying extents, like some very well, some not so well, but that's the only route they know. So like when I'm doing university work and when I'm back when I'm back at home for the holidays and still doing work, they're like, nah, let's go out. Let's go help your dad with his work. I'm like, is there like a level of, is there an undertone to this that you're just not taking university work as serious as the work like my dad's doing to earn money? Like, of course they're different.
Mm.
They're different in dynamics because like one is earning money, one isn't. But like they don't see it as 100% like an investment into the future. Like they can't see the delayed gratification behind university. So yeah, that does like present like tricky scenarios like where they just expect you to take days off for them when they don't even realize how hard it is.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because it's like, there's no real way to explain it either. Well, like without going through uni, or like at least
Mm. Mm.
what's like what college, I guess, or sixth form, like without having that knowledge of like what it's actually like to have to. It's not really fake pressure, but that different type of stress you get when you have to do work. Like there's no way to explain that without actually experiencing it.
Yeah, no, like they understood the sacrifices I made at like sixth form and GCSE because they know that I don't actually need to go into uni to do stuff. Whilst they knew that for sixth form and school, I actually had to be there, physically be there. So they knew that, look, we can't disturb him because he has to wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning, do
Mm.
X, Y, Z at school and come back. Whilst at uni, they know I'm a lot more flexible in terms of how I work. So they try to take advantage of it in terms of like, make me do this errand, make me do that errand. Let's go out for a family picnic on a bloody Wednesday afternoon. Even though like the weather's not that great, but like basically expecting me to sacrifice my studies for just for them.
Mm.
But like it's very weird in how they treated like my university to school because they know people that have gone to school, they know what it means. They just haven't seen enough people. Like my cousin, for example, in my extended family, is the first ever person to go, and I'm the second.
Mad.
Because the cousin before there was my cousin's older brother, so my other cousin, he went to university but dropped out. So like from the extended family's point of view, that is like a failed risk, failed like journey. So like for them, that kind of like cemented the idea that maybe university isn't the great one. But like with that cousin in particular, like he came to the country like at the age of what, 10, 11.
Crazy.
So like it wasn't like on the forefront of his mind, whilst me and my cousins have taken like it seriously with like our career paths and actually like taken time to actually like be involved in what university means and actually using the degree.
Mm. Do you think? because you mentioned to me before how you're free from from 3 and like after 3 and 4. Have you been taking uni like whilst at home as like a, because you were talking about how your parents knew of school, like you have a fixed time, like a time barrier or whatever. Have you been doing that recently, like just working from 9 until 3 with your diffso and treating it like a school day?
Honestly, before this term came about, because I knew I only had 3 modules and no exams, I was planning to make it a 9 to 5.
Mm.
But honestly, given how unstructured it is, and given how many how there's a lack of office hours for this term, there's just been it's been very hard to implement a structure for me personally and mentally, because behind the scenes there's been a lot going on in terms of family and whatnot. So this term has been very hard to organize that kind of 9 to 5 structure that I wanted. But right now, I don't have a set time where I wake up, but I just know it has to be early enough. Otherwise, I just feel like the day's written off. So if I wake up past 12, which it is easy to do, because in this pandemic season, it's easy to do that. If I wake up past 12 or what, I feel like the day's written off, and I just end up canceling the day sometimes. Because I'm very much my intense periods of work tend to be between 10 a.m. and 4, 5, 6 p.m. But after that, I mentally clock out the day. That's when I'm just time to myself and whatnot, do my own thing. Try to keep it as stable as can be, but it's honestly not that stable.
Yeah, I hear what you mean.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to say lucky, but I took advantage of my family being broke, because my curtains fell off the wall 10 years ago, and I just never bothered to fix it. So it's annoying having no curtains, but at the same time it means 9 a.m. every morning, that bird outside hits my window, wakes me up.
Bro, I don't think you're broke enough to not afford. But then I don't know, then have you not taken the initiative to even put the curtains up?
I tried at one point. I bought a little drill, but the drill bit wasn't strong enough.
Oh, you didn't have the whole set in place, you didn't have the frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to be fair, it only would have cost £50 or so, which is not really that deep. But
for me, regardless of that, it purely just depends on what time I sleep. And during this pandemic season, honestly, it's just so easy to fall asleep at 3, 4, 5 a.m. Time in this last few months has just been a weird thing, because you don't have to wake up for anything necessarily. And what are you going to do when you wake up is that you're going to stay indoors. It's it's just a matter of how you use the 24 hours at your disposal. You can wake up at 2 and do work, but I just know that if I start work too late, I just won't get in the zone. So kind of have to still adhere to an early-ish wake up, even though I struggle a lot with that as well. But I've never been for school, for when stuff is structured, let's say I have a job, or let's say for school, I never was late. I was always 100% attendance, 100% punctuality. That kind of structure allowed me to flourish. But given that there's no structure during this time, and given that there's a lack of structure in university in comparison to sixth form in school anyway, it's a lot harder for me to be as productive. But exam season, if I had exams, I'd be all over it, because I know what the steps are. So I know that the steps are, I need to spend X amount of time watching Y amount of lectures, and it's a methodical step process that you can just go through, saying, yep, I need to watch 24 lectures in the next 3.5 weeks or 2.5 weeks, and then revise it. Whilst with the dissertation, it's a lot more freedom. And because I'm with my dissertation, I'm kind of inventing and researching. It's it's all down to my own discretion. The work, the output is what I'll get as a result of the input. As easy it is to say that, it is true, because if I could spend days where I just don't do anything, And as a result, like, nothing happens because I have to create my own work in this time. So like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot less structured, so it's a lot harder to maintain focus.